The core of all racist ideologies is all people and society is developed equally, and therefore any differences in behavior or ability must be because of inherent qualities rather than environment. That is the same type of like propaganda that is like capitalism. Instead of being like, oh, these people are less fortunate, these people are struggling under like systemic issues going on. No, like homeless people, that is like a personal failure. I remember hearing the phrase growing up, practice makes perfect, which honestly made no sense to me, since perfection is not possible. It's cooler than saying something like, oh, practice makes you f up less. Practice makes mistakes less frequent. I don't know, that doesn't that's not too inspirational. Alliteration is a powerful tool for getting something stuck in your head. Yeah, it's also like, you know, when somebody hears like Black Lives Matter and their response is like, yeah, but all lives matter, why do only Black lives matter? It's like, you don't understand like the phrase, right? It's more like police brutality and so on, targeting people of color, like, needs to be properly addressed. Making concepts just something that can be processed, but a lot of people, especially like on the right, love to like twist these things. And if you're ignorant, if you don't fundamentally understand the concept, then these things are just like, oh, that makes sense to me. Someone being like, men suck, and then it's like, oh, but not all men. Oh, just, it's like someone not understanding like where this concept is even like originating from, and then like listening to people who like love to like twist these things. The same with like, oh, listen to women, listen to victims of abuse, and then it's like, oh, but there was this one woman who was really upset with this partner and ruined his life because there were like false allegations and so on. And I feel like that is what makes communications like so much harder. Being a man all my life has shown me that all men do in fact suck, some more than others. Hey, yo! It's annoying how short, punchy phrases are so effective when they are so reductive. It just sucks because it feels like on the right they get away with it more, because it's based on like people not understanding, like having a fundamental understanding and it just sounding like reasonable to them. Because when someone goes Black Lives Matter and you don't understand like where that comes from and what the concept of it is, if you don't experience systemic racism and so on, then someone going like, oh, all lives matter would be like, yeah, right, why do the black, you know? And then it's like drifting to the right further and further and like exploiting that ignorance. The same with like, I am pro-life as someone who's like a Christian and believes that like in the sanctity of life. And then it's like, yeah, okay, so it's actually not being pro-life, it's just being anti-choice, and you're taking someone's body into, like, you want to control someone else's body, what they do with it, and like what is happening, and you want like victims of assault, victims of SA to like carry out their abuse as children and so on. You're taking away essential life-saving medical care, and you're just like viewing the pregnant person as like a host body. Like, you don't even care what happens to them after they are born. It's just really difficult to explain these things, and then it's like, oh, too long, didn't read. This part just like seems reasonable, and you use so many words, so actually you're incorrect. You must be incorrect if you have to over-explain all these things. The same with like the anti-trans stuff with like, oh, this is child mutilation. Oh, you want to force a boy to be a girl. Oh, you want to force a girl to be a boy. You get like, when you're stupid, by stupid I mean like you don't know enough about the topic and so on, not like necessarily low intelligence, even though that is sometimes correlated. When you like fall for these things and you don't have the capability of understanding, hey, maybe there's like something to it, and you can't hear both sides of the argument and like the dismantling of these right-wing talking points. I'm over-explaining again, Jesus Christ. Okay, if you hear these things and you're like, oh, protect the kids, but then it's like, why do you want queer kids to suffer? Why do you understand that these children need to be protected, but these other children don't? Like, there are just like so many flaws, but like these small catchy phrases are incredibly important, and it like makes these conversations so much harder, because I talk about like, oh, I used to be a trans kid, these are my experiences, and then it's like, trans kids don't exist, trans kids don't have choice. Trans kids are going through their natural puberty. Puberty is natural. Like, everything is like based on like not understanding anything about like biology, sociology, and so on. And that is like the case with all of these right-wing talking points. That is why fascism always wins. You know, that's why it always gets like a rise. You know, it always makes like a comeback. Even if it eventually is going to like fall apart, everything is going to like crash down when people are like, hey, maybe that was like a mistake to vote these, you know, right-wing fascists into the government. They kind of ruined me too. They are not able and willing to like listen to the minorities who are the first who are affected. And with trans people, it's like these people are just like constantly harassing us, using these phrases, scapegoating us, manipulating things, pushing this ideology further and further. And then there are like trans rights activists and trans people who are like saying how it actually is, and then it's being suppressed. Back in the day when I came out to my mom and I was like talking about like being trans, and like the election back then came up, and she was like, oh yeah, I'm going to vote for the far right party, and I'm like, hey, these people want me dead. And then it's like, no, actually, no, but like actually they're the alternative for Germany, and they're actually like good. Like, they don't want to listen to us. We see what is happening. That is why they always come for the smallest minority. And in order to come after trans people, they also divide the trans community itself by focusing on trans women. And then they had their foot in the door with the like 2 sexual predators who suddenly came out as trans, and then they're being transferred into the women's prison, and then they're going to abuse women. Like, obviously these things are being blown out, but it doesn't matter because it sounds good, right? It sounds good, it pushes an emotion, puts something into your head, and then it's just going to spiral from there. Then it's like, oh, you're talking about trans stuff? You wanted to talk about children for that stuff? You know, and it's just leading to more and more divide, right? Like, sometimes on my Twitter timeline, I'm just like scrolling, and then I occasionally see a tweet of like thumbnails from me or like tweets from me being like, oh, Nyara and Lily, Tino, they are the ones who are actually giving the trans community a bad reputation. Like, why do you support these groomers and something? I'm like, why am I catching strays? What the f? Why can't people just like read? Hello? There's no winning. Because people are just like happy with being ignorant, you know? It's like, oh, this doesn't affect me, or I don't know that this affects me. I don't care about these people being affected or being like abused and getting like harassment and so on. And people who don't care about the trans community losing their rights are just like pointing the fingers at someone else and just like victim blaming us. It's so annoying. It's so frustrating. The core of all racist ideologies is all people and society is developed equally, and therefore any difference in behavior or ability must be because of inherent qualities rather than environment. That is the same type of like propaganda that is like capitalism, by making out less wealth, like being poor, as like someone who is not working hard enough, someone who is lazy, instead of being like, oh, these people are less fortunate, these people are struggling under like a lot of systemic issues going on, and they are not able to break free from their debt. No, like homeless people, that is like a personal failure. That is not the capitalist society working as intended. No, that is like a personal flaw. Oh, because I made it and I'm working like really hard, and it's like you're also struggling because of this the systemic issues. But it's like billionaires who have more money than you can even conceptualize are just gaslighting you and being like, these homeless people want to take away your money and you're already struggling. Who is going to give you money? And it's like the government is supposed to support the working class and like improve the overall quality of everyone, because there should be like a baseline for like living in order to give people the ability to focus on things that help us make progress in society, right? You know, if you're no longer worrying about, I don't know, paying rent every month, or like, you know, having to make decisions between, am I going to pay for food or am I going to pay for rent? Like, what can I eat? Oh, I can't even eat healthy because I can't afford it this month. Oh, cup noodles it is. Oh, I'm in so much debt, I will never get out of that. These are things that you shouldn't worry about. You shouldn't have to worry about. But because of capitalism, it is something that you have to worry about, but these people don't want you to know the problem of capitalism, of like billionaires and so on exploiting everyone. No, they're just going to be like, oh, these homeless people, oh, these refugees, these immigrants are coming into your country and taking away your hard-earned money. They're going to get everything handed. It's just propaganda. And people who are ignorant and refusing to like actually learn about the topic on a deeper level, they're obviously going to be, listening to their feelings, and they're going to get radicalized by these talking points. It's fucking annoying. I went on a rant. I guess that had to be let out. That's what I mean. ADHD brain, I talk about Dummy Mummy or something, and then we talk about like capitalism and societal flaws. Oh my god. Is this new chill content she promised?
Everybody hates that